Put 'em up, put 'em up!
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Right, good afternoon everybody. Yep, there's Steve sending me a PM. Oh, good afternoon again. I think I muted myself there in case Steve was going to say something. Anyway, Steve's joining the commentary in a minute once he gets a coffee. Welcome back to everybody. One lost side match in the VP4 2022 Black Ball World Championship between Snake Eyes from England, Stubb from the USA, and well, this is another step up for Stubb in this tournament. He probably doesn't realise that. I would expect him to find out soon enough. You know, he had a comfortable win in his last match, but this is a different ball game today. Snake Eyes is no mug, and if Stubb starts banging balls like he's doing, he's going to have a hell of a lot of luck for 11 racks, or more than 11 racks if he's going to pull through in this match. The winner is going to be playing Tommy, who is another step up in class. I was very impressed with Tommy in his last match against Spudboy, and I'm expecting him to keep that sort of standard up, if not improve it. And then, of course, the winner of that match moves on to play Zangetsu. So it doesn't get any easier. Zangetsu, of course, came off badly against Cobra. Zangetsu now realises the standard you have to be setting yourself at. Further down the bracket, we've got Mark Sharp to play semi-pro. And, of course, the winner's side, nothing changes there, because if we go from the top to the bottom, we've got Albinario and Larry coming up at the weekend. And further down, we have Cobra waiting to play the winner of that match. So we're all set. Now, Snake Eyes notoriously turns up at the last minute, so we have to assume he's going to be here. And he's got about 6 minutes to arrive. He'll probably arrive, you know, with a minute to go. Well, here's hoping he does. We're looking forward to a good match. And, well, it's difficult to see how it goes. I think Stubb's going to need an awful lot of luck if he is going to start banging balls around. I gave him a bit of advice. Whether he pays any heed to it is another story. He probably won't. So, anybody predicting the score? who's all there anyway? I see Slim, I see Albie, Bedhead, Kid. Yes, I keep hitting the. I've got the mute button set as my spacebar, and I keep leaning on it, where I accidentally mute myself. As long as you tell me in the chat, I'll remember to unmute myself. 11-8 to Stub. Yeah, well, we will see. So we're getting pretty much towards the business end of the tournament. There's those left in the tournament. These are two of the guys, Zangetsu and one or two others are the sort of outside chances of going all the way in this tournament. It's going to be the usual suspects unless somebody who is not fancied finds their way through. It's going to be a tough job, but you know, it's a competition between two people in a race to 11 in the one-loss side. So in theory, anybody can win it coming through, but they do have to. There's a few players will have to raise their game to a different level and be consistent for a period of time that will allow them to stay in a match till it gets to the point where the nerves start to kick in and funny things start to happen. And we all know it can happen. It happens to the best of them. 11-10. My prediction, I think it could be 13-10, 13-11 to Snake Eyes. It could be that. It could be the other way around, but I tend to favour Snake Eyes because I don't think he's going to bang balls as much as Stubb does, and I can't see that being productive. Good afternoon to Sharky. Still not in VP4. What did I say? I never said anything, did I? 13-11, aye. Well, I did say that. Yes, I did. Yes, 11, aye. Well, 11-9, that's what I meant to say. Listen, you've got to have sympathy for me. I've been working to 2 p.m. I had to drive home, got in, had a quick cup of coffee, had a biscuit, nothing else. I've had nothing to eat, so my brain's getting a bit fried.
Don't be making excuses.
I'm knackered. Oh, by the way, here's a question for you guys. I get everybody these crazy things happening. Yesterday I was picking, and one of the young girls, one of the other pickers, came up to me and she said, "That woman, she asked me something, but I don't know what she asked." And then that was the conversation finished. I felt like saying, "Well, did you ask her for more detail?" So anyway, the young girl walked away and left me to it. So I went round the corner and I said to the woman, "Now, this was a big African woman with her two kids." And I said, "Excuse me, I believe you're looking for something." She said, "I said, what is it you're looking for?" She said, "Custard." I said, "Sorry?" "Custard." I said, "Spell it for me, please." And she got her phone out and started typing it into Google. And it turned out she was looking for a tin of custard.
Hey, well, now you know how it is for the rest of us trying to talk to you. It's the same thing with the Scottish.
She said, I'm looking for custard." You know, she had a proper strong African accent. And of course I'm going, "What the hell's custard?" And then, "Custard, all right." Yeah, anyway, so that's enough of that. We're a minute away, Steve, and as I said, Snake Eyes usually turns up at the last second, and I don't see him in the building yet.
Yeah, he's in the lobby.
Oh, he has arrived. There he is, just below Stubb.
I'm having an echo on my end on Discord.
No, everything, I can hear you fine, and I've not changed anything or touched anything.
Yeah, let me try disconnecting and reconnecting. Oh, wait a second. It went away.
Yeah, I haven't
Now I'm
said
good.
anything. I haven't said anything though. Oh, maybe.
Oh, you fixed it just by denying.
Yeah, maybe Discord was, downloading something, installing something, messing about. I think it takes a second or two to settle down. So, at first I predicted 13-10 to somebody before I was reminded that we are in a one-loss side match and it's only a race to 11. So I'm saying 11-9 to somebody, but I'm going to sit in the fence again. Stubbs had his advice, but we don't know whether he'll bother taking it. Rumours up, they're probably lagging off. There we go. I've got the cloth at green. If you wanted it blue, I'll set it at blue.
Stubb doesn't listen to advice.
Well,
he's gonna do Stubb.
Snake Eyes has won the lag. How do you want this, guys? Do you want it green? Do you want it green or do you want it blue? Right. We'll go for blue then. Miscellaneous blue. So a couple of balls in the break, and of course. Well, that didn't take long, did it?
We don't make mistakes here. We just have happy accidents.
Well, this is a pretty easy rack, so you would expect Stubb to be able to run this out.
Well, let's see what he does.
Yeah, he didn't try to do anything with this free shot, although I'm not sure how much there was to do there. But
you can see where the biggest problem is going to be, though, Steve. Look at this yellow ball hanging over the pocket down here. How the hell is he going to get that and get back up for the 8?
Well, I mean, he doesn't want to leave that for last. That's for sure. I mean, he wants to shoot it right now. He's got those 2 balls that both going up table in the corner. See, this is a mistake shooting this one. He should shoot the one in the corner right now.
Yeah, and get into a place where he could either cut the one into the side or take one of those up top. Ideally, he wants to get the one in the side as well.
Yeah. He keeps trying to play for the side pocket. What he doesn't realize is that one in the corner is just as bad. He needs to play the one in the corner right now.
Yeah, this one in the side is tough to get to because obviously he's overshot this time and he's running out of balls to get there again.
Well, he's decided that was the toughest one, which is fine. I mean, I'm not going to contend that, but, last time when he didn't get on it, he should have shot the corner ball.
Yes, you can, Sharky.
So, this corner ball is going to come back to haunt him potentially because, it's so deep in the pocket that you can't, thin cut that and get up table.
Well, something, so he's loath now to play this one in the side now that he's on it. He's now going to have to go. Yeah, he's going to have to go from the corner up top, and this is where it can go wrong.
Well, at this point, he has to. But, he should have played that corner ball 2 or 3 shots ago. Now it's going to get tough. I mean, I'm sure. Well, I'm not sure, but he'll probably get a shot on this corner ball. Whether he can get up table for the 8 is going to be another story. I think with that kind of corner ball, you're going to have to draw it out of there. And the hard thing about this draw shot is you just, you don't catch it at the right angle. And next thing you know, you're running into reds and not going on the line you want. I mean, getting the angle correct on this coming out of the pocket's very tricky. I would think he'd want to go up between those 2 reds by the side. He played another way, and I like how he did that. That was actually a better idea than what I was saying because it took the reds out of play. All right, well, he figured out how to get out, so kudos to Stubb. And he's got the break, so it could be 2-0 here. I mean, this is another beautiful table.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what, two reds have gone down, but that, obviously there's less reds in the table than yellows, but I mean, the yellows look just as good as anything here. I mean, if he was going to pot the one up the rail, he'd have to just drop through for the other one behind the other red ball, but that would be about it. And he's got balls surrounding the 8 ball, if he sticks to the yellows. I'm surprised. Again, I don't understand why he didn't take the one up the rail first. Now he's going to have to leave the one up in the top right-hand corner and drop into the one behind the red into the side pocket. Well, we'll see if this works out.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that he took yellows. To be honest with you, I thought the reds were a lot better. I mean, he was sitting right there on it. He could have shot that one of those two next to each other up table and rolled up and shot the other one. I mean, I don't get taking yellows. This is his chance right now to move this yellow on the rail. He needs to sort of, it's a little bit of a stun and just a slight forward into that ball. And he needs to hit it on the left side of it so he can knock it out. And he's got this other ball up by the corner he can shoot. So, okay, he played that well. That was what he needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he got a shot on it. So he's probably going to be out from here. Now, this is one place you could take advantage of this light cue ball. This ball won't drift quite as much. If you roll this, you'll have a shot on the one in the corner. He may not realize that, but I think he can just roll this, and the cue ball won't go too far right. And he did shoot it the right way. And, yeah, and he's good. Yeah, see how that thing... Like with a normal cue ball, that would have gone further right, giving him more angle on the shot into the corner. With this light cue ball, it just doesn't go.
Now, the big problem he's got here is, well, I don't suppose it's a problem. If he ended up straight in the yellow into the side, he'd just kill the cue ball and he's got a fairly straight 8 ball. But,
oh, yeah, I think that's the play, is to play for the 8 ball in the corner. Trying to get on this where you can shoot the 8 in the side
well,
is,
look at he's got an angle now.
Well, but this is fine. You just come off the rail. Now, again, with this light cue ball, it's not going to go quite as much, so you got to hit this a teeny bit harder than you would with a normal cue ball.
Got to get it out.
Well, it's going to come out at a nice angle.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think he'd have trouble with that because it's kind of coming at an angle back, so it's giving some separation away from that red.
Oh, it's a good start for Stubb.
It's a wonderful start for Stubb.
Snake Eyes has had... He's had 2 shots. He's had the lag, won that. Second shot, he scratches the break. And now he's got a ball. And again...
Well, the yellows look beautiful here.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's taking those. And another great rack.
Yeah,
table's breaking good today.
Yeah, there's nothing been locked up. And that's into the 3rd rack.
But, there's some heat on him here to produce. I mean, you get in a situation where the other guy's playing good. You haven't really done anything wrong. And you're already down 2-0. He really needs to run this rack out.
Now, what about cutting this yellow in and just bumping the red that's to the left of the yellow down bottom here? It looks...
I'd probably wait on that. I mean, he could get a little easier angle where he doesn't have so much speed. This isn't it. I don't know what he's even looking at this ball for. What he needs to do is I don't know why he's shooting that ball. I guess he thinks he can maintain his angle on that. See, he was trying to hit that easy enough that he got a shot on that other red.
Yeah.
And not only did he not make the ball, he didn't get a shot on the red on the other yellow anyways.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he doesn't hit a rail.
He needed to play one of those ones up table and get the cue ball in a little better position.
Yeah.
I mean, your idea wasn't bad right out the get-go just because it was guaranteed he was already on it. And sometimes, even though it's not sitting quite as good as you want, that guaranteed you're already there is maybe the right choice.
Well, it looked to me that I mean, forget the yellow that's there now because that wasn't there in the first place, but the angle he had in that yellow, the cue ball was going to go at the rail and more than likely hit that red, and so he would have had a little cut in the other one.
For sure it was going to hit the red. I mean, the only tricky thing about that situation is you got to make sure you hit the red fairly full or the cue ball is going to go someplace potentially bad. But, I mean, he had a reasonable angle to shoot it. A little less angle on it, and he could have controlled the speed a little better, which makes it a little less critical to hit it quite as square on the red. But, I mean, either way,
well,
his decision to shoot that ball was a poor one.
Well, this is where he's dropping this. I presume he's see these two reds at the bottom here. These two reds at the bottom here worry me because he's not looking at them. He's not looking at them, and I don't know why.
Yeah, and the problem is okay, he solved one problem there, and he's got table position, but he's still got issues with those two balls, and those are issues that may not be that easy to correct. I think he needs to get down on this on one side here where both those balls go into the corner pocket the red is hung in. So he has to get over there somehow.
Oh,
and that's just a total fail there.
Yeah, he's done for there.
I mean, I don't know what he was trying to do because the spot that he had to shoot that red into the other corner was minuscule. That was crazy shooting that ball. And, part of that, I'll tell you what probably happened there is that's the light cue ball. He's trying to hit a little stun shot, and he's not used to the light cue ball, and it backs up a little.
Well, he's left Snake Eyes a shot. The Snake Eyes now has to deliver. I mean, he may well not have been expecting to have a shot in this rack. He's got to get it done now. Snake Eyes has got the same shot, Steve. When he pots this yellow, he's probably going to take the one in the side. And then he'll have the angle in the yellow that's nearest the pocket to bump the red.
Yep. And it's actually sitting better now because there's less congestion in there where he could, not hit the red quite as full and not come up with a shot. I think it's almost guaranteed. He just needs to come out, at least where that yellow is sitting now. A little further would be nice. He got it back out to there. So
it looks okay.
This shot is pretty natural. I mean, you just want to roll it at that red. And that's what you want is a natural angle. He really doesn't need to do anything here. He just needs to roll the ball.
It looks like he's putting bottom on this. Yeah, that'll do it.
He was just doing that. That's something that a lot of players use in real life is, so they don't have to stroke it real easy. They'll put
just drag it.
But it still ended up rolling out. I mean, you don't see that as much in VP because it's real easy to hit the ball easy. But in real life, where you're trying to make an easy stroke is less accurate. Players will do that just so they can get more accuracy in their stroke with more speed. Whoa, that almost didn't go in. That was close there, Hugh.
Well, it was an important visit for Snake Eyes. Gets him off the mat.
Well, Stubb let him out of that.
Oh,
Stubb should have been up 3-0.
Yeah, again, I look at where he was going anyway. He was really going nowhere because he never dealt with those two reds when he should have. With the free shot, he should have improved them.
I think he might have been able to get away with it. But, when he hung that one in the corner, he really didn't think about where he was putting the cue ball. He just rolled it in, and he didn't move the cue ball to a good spot. And then he got there and said, oh, crap, I don't have a shot. That's just, it's not thinking ahead. And you have to do that in this game. In 9-ball, you just got to get a shot on the next ball. But in this game, you have to think ahead a little more. Well, let's see. He's
done for a game.
He's okay here. Well, he's going to have to cut this yellow back. He's still okay. I mean, this is going to be a little tricky to get out. He's got that one yellow on the rail that the red is near. Yeah, I figured he'd probably make that. He's got a couple balls to get to now that are, he's got two balls that are going to be tough to get to. He's looking at this one, wondering if should I shoot this now.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually a pretty good idea. If he's going to try to run out, I think it's a pretty good idea just to shoot this one ball next to the red now.
Yeah, he's not going to get any better on it.
Well, he might, but it's no gimme, and he's there. You know, he's not going to do it. And
now he's running out of balls again.
This shot is no easier than the last one he just had. It's just hard to get in those little areas like that. He should have taken it while he had a shot at it. And see, the thing is, if he would have shot that ball last time and done that, hung it in the pocket, he would have been in a better position just because you have one more ball on the table.
Well, Snake Eyes obviously can't do anything with the red that's over on the left side. It's not going anywhere. I don't know whether he can cut this and come down the left side and try and nudge it. He's trying to nudge it, I think. Well, might have been better hitting that a bit harder.
That was a really good idea, but I think a little more speed would have helped, and he didn't. You know, the way he caught it didn't help him any either. I mean, he hit that; it ended up hitting it awful thin. But I agree, a little more speed would have been wise.
I know what I'd be doing. I'd be cutting that red next to the 8-ball down towards the yellow and get myself a bit of a backup here, because if he doesn't do anything like that, then Stubbs going to get out.
Yeah, he needs to do something to cover up. If he's going to try to run out, he's going to have to hit a pretty damn good shot here.
He's trying again. That's going to hit the top of the pocket. So again, a second chance. He wants to roll this down the rail now towards that yellow. He's not thinking about it.
I'm not sure that's a winning play at this point, because it'll bump the yellow over towards the rail, but he's not going to get the red in front of the pocket, and Stubbs going to have open shots unless he can somehow cover up. This is not a good situation. I think he almost has to try to run out from this point, the way this table's sitting. You know, sometimes you get to a point where you don't have any choice. And the more balls you shoot, you know, the more you're at that.
Well, he's leaving the bank. He's leaving the bank.
He's going to play the bank. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. It's not going to be a terribly difficult bank. And an 8-ball sitting in the spot, he can get to it. I will tell you something about these rails, is they won't shorten up quite as much as a pool rail. So in some ways, banking on these is a little easier. The ball won't shorten quite as much. But look, you've got this shot to win the game. And, this is probably 50-50 for him. I mean, for somebody that really can bank, this is probably, 80 or 90%. But even at 50-50 in the position he was at, if you said you can get to a shot, you have 50-50, you can win. I mean, that's worthwhile. And, he didn't understand the ball was going to hold up a little just because the object ball was so close to the rail. So if I was Stubb here, I'm cutting this red or this yellow right next on the rail, the one the cue ball is right next to. Cut that down on top of the other one, because then you get rid of that and you're going to make it. See, that doesn't make sense to me, because
he's going to be
now you're putting yourself in a position where the shot's harder and maybe you don't get on it. I mean, he managed to, but he could have just rolled a little further and be locked on his own yellow.
Yeah, he's going to get out.
It's like, I don't understand why he didn't cut that ball when he was right next to it. I mean, you're going to make that other ball. It's hung right in the pocket. I thought the way Snake Eyes played that table was okay, but it's what I keep telling you guys, is you need to go play banks, because everybody thinks bank shots are hard, on VP4, and it's because I don't play banks. If you watch guys in real life that play banks, you know, it's they're not as hard as you think, but you got to practice them because they're very speed dependent.
Now those two yellows down here, they're nowhere near set as a combo, but if you were down low enough, there's a little gap between. I don't know whether the gap's big enough to actually cut that yellow and make the bank, make the combo.
Yeah, you can. It's going to have to be a pretty severe cut on it because the ball's going to throw. But you do have enough gap to cut it, but it's going to have to be cut very thin.
Well, Snake Eyes, and the worst thing happened to him there. He's came up dry.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what Stubb takes here. I mean, I would take yellow, but I wouldn't shoot the one in front of the pocket right now. I might cut the one that's on the rail into the one in front of the pocket. I think that's a smarter play. Move the cue ball someplace you like better, and you still get to cover that pocket. He's not going to do that, just like he didn't want to cut the one down the rail into the ball last game.
Nice.
And here comes the craziness. And all he does is screw the table up by hanging the ball in the pocket.
Yep, now he's locked it up with a red. And you can't get to these three balls.
Well, he's gambling instead of playing, you know, some kind of controlled game. And that, you know, that's not the best way to play pool. The thing is he pockets balls and moves the cue ball well enough that he has some success doing that. You know, and he's going to beat a lot of people like that. But as soon as you play somebody like a Cobra or Albarino or a semi-pro, you're going to lose with that strategy. You can't beat those guys doing that.
That's his trouble, Steve. It's always been his trouble. He just, you know, he's a one-trick pony as far as that goes because all he'll do is want to pop balls. The good pattern play is something he doesn't adhere to. He doesn't follow that rule.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a shame because he has some really good attributes in his game, but, you know, he doesn't get better. And you would think after losing, he'd start figuring it out, but, you know, he doesn't seem to.
Plus, he missed that yellow up table there. That was a bad shot. But now he needs to be punished, and this is what Snake Eyes has to deliver. Now, obvious shot would be, you know, roll through with this red up top and play the combo on the red that's near the yellow in the middle of the table. Just play the combo, roll it down over the corner if he wants.
No, Bedhead likes the Albarino, huh?
Yeah. Bedhead, the VP4 offline, Steve's got Albinario in VP4 as Albarino in the offline version. Well, here we go. Now, this cue ball, he wants to be careful with this yellow.
No, he just needs to roll this. He'll get around the yellow.
Yeah, just got to be careful now. Yellow, that's a fail.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to make that ball. Yeah, that's terrible.
I think that's what he was worried about there, though. I think, you know, that
well, that was a great shot there.
That's worked out.
If you're worried about it, then, you know, stun it over. I mean, you know, the thing is you got to know where the cue ball is going, and if you say, hey, that's going to be a problem, then stun the thing over. Don't hit some wishy-washy in-between shot with a lot of doubt in your mind, because what ends up happening is you do something like you just did and you miss.
Yeah, I think he had two worries. The first worry was, you know, the combo was easy enough, but he was trying to take some evasive action there on that yellow. I think the other worry was the second worry was playing the stun and hitting it too hard and stunning into the side pocket. So he was caught in two minds, and in the end he didn't get either. Well,
here comes the crazy shot. Here we go.
Yeah,
he's gonna shoot this one in the corner and draw it back and try to split those.
It's a good line, by the way.
He may get away with it.
Oh, no, he's suddenly decided he's going to cut this and then hope that he gets lucky.
Well, he doesn't have to get lucky if you understand where the balls are going. I think he's probably going to get a double kiss. Oh, he didn't. Yeah, see, he played that well. I mean, he understood what he was doing there. Oh, I'm saying Stubb has a lot of good attributes to his game. He does a lot of good stuff. It's just a shame because he's, he could be so much better if he just didn't do the crazy stuff.
Yeah, well, Snake Eyes has capitulated in his downfall there. A poor shot. And it was against his break as well.
That's why players need to gamble. I've gambled a lot in real life. And when you do something that's stupid and it doesn't work, and then you do it stupid and it doesn't work, and every time you're doing this, you're losing money. Eventually, you're going to say, I'm not doing that anymore. But, when it doesn't cost you, you don't get that feedback, then it's harder to break those habits.
Well, Stubb took a risk there, banging to improve balls. And the 8-ball was running around the table. That 8-ball could have went anywhere.
Well, I mean, there's a time to bang. I'm not saying it's always wrong, but Stubb ends up using it way too much. A lot of it's because, of poor planning. He plans like a 9-ball player. He's looking at, a couple balls, 3 balls. He doesn't really look at the whole table and try to figure out, how I'm going to play this whole table.
Now, obvious problem is getting rid of the problem red down the rail, which he's going for first.
I mean, he was sitting on it real good.
Now, does he take this first red, not the one on the right rail down from his cue ball, the one in the top of those 2 reds where he's
It's a little tricky there.
And I'll tell you, the other problem is the brush onto the second red is going to push it onto that yellow, and then it might go funny.
That's the problem. If you hit it easy, it won't, but then you may not come out enough to shoot the shot. I think he can do it, but it's close. I mean, it might be smarter just to shoot this one ball in the corner and drift over and bump the top red, because then you're going to come up with a shot on one of the other.
He's taken the second one, and now that's what's happened. He's locked himself up.
Well, you gotta know that the cue ball is going to come off of that and hit the yellow, and that's fine if it's gonna. I mean, you got to play for it. Hit it with more speed. Put a little English on it. You can't. And he's consistently hitting the ball short on these banks.
I think he should have took the first red, not the second red, not the lower red. He should have took the first one.
And if I was playing on one of these black ball tournaments, I'd go offline and get on the black ball table and hit a lot of banks, because they're gonna come up.
Well, Stubbs looking good here for a 5-1 lead. I can't see where this is going to go wrong. Pot the one on the left-hand side. Pot the other one. Just make sure the cue ball's out on the table to see the yellow up top. Game over.
Yeah, it's hard to mess this up. Now, one thing about Stubb is, he, other than getting a little bit tight and dogging it, I mean, outside of that, and that only happens under the gun, he plays a lot of confidence. He plays his game. He pockets balls well. He doesn't play with a lot of doubt. And, there's some good things about that. Even if you're doing the wrong thing, but you do it confidently and you're not doubting yourself, that can be a powerful thing.
Well, there we go.
Well, he had to know it was going to hit that. I'm sure he did, but he didn't think about the double kiss could push it back that way. I think what he that was a frustration slam. I think what he should have done is rolled that a lot easier, just in case the kiss went that way. And part of that's, again, that light cue ball, is the cue ball came back a little more maybe than he expected, and the kiss went on the other side of the ball.
Well, this has got to be the one in the side. See, he doesn't like the one in the side because he doesn't want to let this cue ball stun down and bounce. But it's straightforward enough. He's going to be on a red either
That's the
way.
right shot. That's the right shot. Shooting the one on the side right now. I mean, see, this is what I'm talking about. Is like, oh, I'm scared of this because I got to cut it just a little.
Yeah,
And then I way
overhit
it because I'm afraid it's going to go forward and scratch, which
Yeah.
it wasn't gonna. He could have just rolled that and he would have been fine.
And this is pure and simple because Snake Eyes is not playing on this table. I don't think he's doing any practice, but he's finding out the hard way. You don't need that heavy a touch on this table.
He doesn't understand the cue ball. He hit that hard because he was afraid of scratching.
Exactly,
But especially with this light cue ball, it wasn't going to go that far forward. So this is what I'm talking about. He's playing a lot of doubt in his mind.
Yeah.
And he's doing things based on that fear and doubt. And that's a formula for failure. The worst emotion that you can have when you're trying to compete is fear. And he's getting up and looking at these shots and he's scared of hitting them.
I mean, this is a natural shot to me. You just cut this in and let the cue ball come out. There you go. Dead easy. Didn't have to do anything with the cue ball. Just let the cue ball take its natural path. And he stole one off Stubb.
Well, I mean, hopefully he's going to settle in here. And, I think a lot of this is nerves because he's a better player than he's shown so far. And I think, he starts believing in a little less doubtful, and he's going to play better.
Yellow's thought about it. It's gone in. Well, if you chose the yellows, you'll get the two problem yellows next to the 8 ball. If you choose the reds, you got to take the red up the rail straight away then. And then the other problem's the red's blocked with the yellow down in this corner as well. If you take the reds,
I think you got to take the yellows here. I would be taking the yellows and getting on that combo right away. I'd shoot this yellow he's looking at, and then shoot that combination.
Well, what about?
I would have rolled that ball more because you got to cut the crap out of this thing to get it to go, and he's not in the right spot. He needed to hit that with some speed and get up on the long rail. I mean, that combo's no good from this angle.
Yeah, and it's not an easy combo either in terms of if you're talking about getting up this end to play the combo down here.
Here's what he should do here. He should go ahead and break those two up there. Maybe try to get the cue ball behind the 8 so that Stubb doesn't have a shot. Just roll this and break them up because he can't make the combo. So you roll into the first one on the right side and let the cue ball just drift behind the 8 ball. Well, except he didn't get the cue ball behind the 8 ball.
What about this? What if the cue ball had finished where the donut is and he potted the one into the side and ran the cue ball around into those two yellows? He would have had an option there.
Yeah, I mean, what he did was okay, but you got to try to protect the cue ball there too because, he could lose the game now. I mean,
Stubb's going to bang this.
He still has table position, but, anytime you're shooting a shot, you want to do the best you can. If he would have done that, accomplished that, splitting the balls up and got the cue ball behind the 8 ball so that Stubb didn't have a shot, then it would have been a lot more powerful. I mean, I'm not saying Stubb wouldn't have had a ball he could hit, but I don't think he would have had a ball he could make. Well, I mean, he can play something. I think he'll get crazy, but he could play for the bank on that one red. Having a ball on the rail makes it tricky, though. You got to play for it to really shorten. He's doing crazy.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with crazy is, you don't get the roll you need, and then, now you've gotten your balls off the table, and what are you going to do? I mean, basically what he's got here is bank shot, or he could try to cut this one red. I'm not sure he can get into the other one with this cut, though.
That's what
he's going to try to.
Yeah, he's trying it.
I think he can with this light cue ball. But the problem is He didn't make the ball. I mean, it was possible what he was doing.
Now, you don't leave that yellow over this corner. I mean, you can leave that yellow over the corner pocket for safety.
He should have rolled forward there.
Yeah,
I think, and shot the one extender from the side.
I don't think
he's gonna. Well, he's gonna go ahead and get this one yellow out, maybe that's in the corner. He's got to shoot that pretty soon. I mean, I would have shot the one extender from the side, the one in this corner, the one that was hung, and then the one on the side. He's going to do it in a little different order.
Yeah, he's got to get rid of that now, that one.
Now I would shoot the one that's hung in the corner because it gives him 2 balls to get position on.
Yeah.
Yeah, shoot the one that's hung in the corner. And see, this is fear that I'm going to mess up, and I don't want to.
I mean, all you need to do is just
cover it.
You just dink it from the knuckle. The cue ball runs to the short rail and back out into the table.
Yeah. If you're not going to shoot that ball, what it's saying is I'm scared I'm not going to get out, and so I'm leaving a ball for cover. Again, he's playing by fear here, and that's just the wrong way to play. You got to understand that balls can be a little tricky, and now he's looking at it. He still may not shoot it. I mean, he should have shot it last shot when he had 2 balls he could get on, because it was almost impossible to get funny. Now, is this a doable shot? Yes, but it's not the shot I'd want last.
Now he's going to play the shot where he's going to chip the knuckle and the yellow and come along the short rail at the bottom. He's just going to nudge off the short rail and back out. Or is he playing a straight draw here again? I can't tell what he's
playing
doing.
A draw, and this can go wrong.
No, he's played a stun, and he's going to be hampered over the red. Disaster.
I mean, it's just a poor choice to leave that for last.
Well, he's okay, but I would never have done that. I would have got rid of that yellow, because you've got those 2 yellows up the table. There's no way you can't get on them.
Well, it's being scared. I mean, you got to say, shit, I'm good enough. I can run these 4 balls out. I mean, you just he's got to gain some confidence here.
Well, Stubbs helping him.
Well, I mean, Snake Eyes is a good player. He's got to gain some confidence and play like he knows he's a good player.
Well, you would say it's got to be reds because the red's blocking the yellow on the bottom left.
Yeah, the reds are good. He's got 1 ball up there that he doesn't want to leave that 1 ball up on the end rail to last just because you've got to get in a certain spot. See, I would have tried to get there right there off of that ball. I would have stunned that over because he's see now he's wondering how I'm going to get to that.
Yeah. And the one that's over the corner, it's the one that's got a slight angle on it at the moment. He's going to run the cue ball, trying to get into a gap to play the cut. He's got to get into a narrow window to try and play a cut up top. That's what he's trying to do.
Well,
I think that's what he did try to do. I don't believe he tried to play that. He's maybe overhit that.
I would have run that at the 8 ball, and the reason why is you bump that 8 ball, you're going to get a shot on one of those 2 reds, even if you don't get the shot on the one you wanted.
Well, I
think he's okay.
Has he got the gap? I don't think he is, Steve. I don't think he can get there. No, he can't. Can't get to it.
Yeah, I think he made the mistake the shot before. He should have run that cue ball at the 8 ball. That was one where, you had a safety valve in case, it bumped it in a way you didn't come up on the shot on the ball you wanted. Because at that line, if you look where the 8 ball is, he'd have a good shot on the one on the end rail.
Yeah, Stubbs blaming his mouse now. Well, again, this is going to be a fail if Snake Eyes can't relax and take these out. There's not a difficult ball in the table. You've just got to get you've got to get the pitch in your mind exactly where you're going. There should be no doubt in exactly where you're going with this setup.
Yeah, I'm not sure that time it was as much doubt as just, not playing the right shots to get to that ball. I think, especially when you're going to like roll at a ball. I mean, that's an important lesson when there's a ball you're going to roll at. There's a couple little rules about it. One is that, you know, if there's only one ball that you can get on after that, you can't roll it too soft because you got to get the balls to separate after you hit it. In that situation, he had a ball that if he hit the 8-ball straight on and snookered himself on the ball he wanted to get to, he would have still had a shot on the other one. So he could have rolled it softer,
Yeah,
and been under control.
See where he was there, Steve. See where the donut is. That's where his cue ball was. Why didn't he play a two-way shot there? You pot this ball, bring the cue ball up into this area here. If you fall short, you've got rid of this one. If you go too far, you've got the one on the side.
Well, I mean, that's one of the important things about this game is you need to be playing position on two balls when possible, because, you know, if you don't get there, you got the other one. And, you know, those balls that are difficult to get to, if you can play a two-way shot, that's the right thing to do.
Well, Snake Eyes realised there that he could just dink that in and the cue ball was just going to stay soft and roll, you know, a couple inches. He got that one right, but I would have played the two-way shot in that first yellow. Anyway, he's going to get out. Famous last words.
I mean, this is just like straight pool. It's the same thing as straight pool. If you're playing position on two balls, it's hard to go south. When you're playing position on one ball, you know, you can really screw up.
You know, you do what you do. I mean, if you're playing snooker, that's what you're doing in amongst the reds. You're playing for an area. That's how the pros do it. They're playing for an area, and that's how you string balls together. That's how you run out in this case. It's a simple rule that applies to pretty much every game you play.
All right. Well, it's 4-4, and you know, it looks like we're going to have a good match. I mean, Stubbs going to do enough stupid things, and Snake Eyes. You know, I would say if Snake Eyes can just play with a little more confidence, he's the favorite from here.
Well, Stubbs just broke in rack number 9. Stubb has come up dry. Tell a lie. No, Snake Eyes has broken. He's got a ball. When I never even saw one going in.
Well, this is an interesting table because. Well,
it's got to.
Both balls have their own problems. The yellows, there's only one ball that's an issue. And he's trying to get to it right away, which is the right thing to do. He didn't execute real well, but he tried to get to it.
You get nothing now.
So, yeah, but, you know, this is where maybe you play for table position. I mean, he can shoot this. I would be thinking, where do I want to put this where Stubb doesn't have a shot? Like, if you look over here towards the upper left-hand corner, you can put the cue ball where Stubb has no shot. The 8 blocks the one red, the yellow blocks the other. See, he could have played.
That's not the shot I would have played, Steve. I would have cut the yellow, come across here, and down behind the red.
All he had to do was put the cue ball over near where the 8 ball is, and Stubb had no shot. That's all he had to do. All he had to do was run off of one of those yellows in front of him, put it over near the 8 ball, and Stubb had nothing.
Well, your choice and my choice were both the same result. Stubb wouldn't have had any shot. He would have been on his own red. He wouldn't have had a pocket to play it in. But he went all out for the cut.
Yeah, what's frustrating watching players play is that, you know, that sort of shot was real simple. It was almost guaranteed. It was a very easy shot to run off a ball and put the cue ball in that area. And, you know, but players are doing difficult things that are low percentage chances instead of something that's easy that would improve table position and not give up anything.
By the way, I've missed something there. Stubbs potted one of Snake Eyes' balls. Snake Eyes has got a free shot, and he's trying to maybe play a combo down the table here to get rid of this red.
And that's a complete fail.
That's backfired.
I think it was a reasonable idea. It just, you know, I mean, Unfortunately, there's two things you need to do. You need to make good decisions, and then you need to be able to execute those decisions. I think that was a pretty good decision, but he didn't get the ball to go. But I'd rather see people make execution mistakes than make poor decisions.
Now, can he get this to follow in? It's going to hit the knuckle, surely. Yeah. Yes.
Well, that's a terrible. That's a loser there. That's a terrible shot. I mean,
it's obvious to me that the ball was going to hang up anyway, and then of course, in having potted Stubbs' ball, he's.
I think it's obvious to everybody except for Stubb.
Well, Stubbs got the free shot. Did you think that was Stubb playing there, Steve?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got him confused. Snake eyes. Yeah, that's just. That was a bad mistake, and it's going to probably cost him. Although, you know, Stubb did nothing to move these other Reds down here, which I think could come back to haunt him. I mean, the combo goes, but you would have thought that he would have tried to fix this problem down here. The Reds' Q's currently over.
Yep.
I mean, he could have shot a ball and ran the cue ball into him. He could have done anything, you know. I mean, instead he's going to figure out how to lose the game.
Oh, yeah. Well, he should have lost this one now. Now, a little soft draw of this yellow that's over the bottom left. Yellow into the side. Yellow up top. And then 8 ball down the rail, down into this bottom right. That's the order of the day here. Simple enough.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. I like that plan. He's got plenty of room to draw this up. I mean, he's got probably...
I mean, just a little soft draw, just to kill it. And
he's probably got 2 feet where he could be, and he's good. I mean, honestly, I would go forward off the rail with just a little right English, because I think that's easier to control.
Now, this is, you know what you're like, Steve, with these balls extended from the side pocket.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at he's giving himself.
If this is me, I'm, you know.
I mean, that was crying out for a little stun draw.
I'm probably playing shape for the corner pocket here, like that. Yeah, I wouldn't play for the side on that, just because it was too easy to get funny on it.
Well,
he's fine. I mean, this is all good. You just got to roll this. I mean, even with this light cue ball, I think it'll get to the knuckle. I don't think there's any problem with that. Probably past the knuckle. Yep.
Yeah. Well, Stubbs started making the mistakes, and he's going to find himself behind for the first time in the match.
Stubbs not a great thinker. We already know that, and I think when he gets a little bit of pressure, he's, you know, going to be even poorer thinker. You know, unfortunately for players, their attributes, their failings or their weaknesses tend to become more prominent when they get under pressure.
Well, here's the obvious shot. Here's the cut. Well, I don't know why
that was.
I don't know why he didn't cut that yellow that's bottom left and run into those balls. But he's had some sort of slam, and he's got lucky because he's flipped one.
Yeah, but he didn't get lucky in coming up with a shot. I mean, he's got a thin cut.
Now he's
good.
And now he's knocked 8 ball into play. He's knocked 8 ball into play. How lucky is that? But he's got to get back down for the 8 ball.
Yeah, I think he can back cut this one if he wants to, but he might want to leave it there for the 8. I think he's going to go up table and shoot this combo. And this is a pretty easy shot because you got to cut it. Oh, he should have cut it. See, if he cuts that thing, the cue ball comes off the end rail and out for the next one. That ball, you know, see how it went in thick? He could have cut that ball, come off the end rail, and had an easy shot on the other one, and then use that one hung in the corner to get on the 8. Instead, he's doing it the hard way, which is what he does a lot.
Well, this will be a good shot.
Well, I mean, you know, the danger here is getting hooked on the red.
Like this, you mean?
Yeah, sort of like that. And you know, see the thing is Stubb hit that real well, but he hit it like he was playing with a cue ball that was the same weight, and you know, because of that, because it's light, it ran out a little more. I mean, you see that over and over again with these good players that have a real good feel for the cue ball. Is they're not taking into account the fact that this ball is a little lighter.
Yeah, you're right enough, Slim. He defaults to banging mentality. Well, Snake Eyes with this free shot. I mean, the red's on next to the 8 ball. He doesn't need to do anything other than just stop the cue ball. I would want to take that one that's up above there, unless he's rolling through from the side. No, he's going to see. This is where he's going to have to get.
Oh no, this is fine. He just rolls this one in the corner, and he's perfect on the next one.
So this it looks as if it's going to be this other one into the side to get to the 8 ball, though. That's the way it looks to me.
Well,
yeah, he's going to be brushing. See, he's going to be brushing the 8 ball there.
Well,
now he's got a funny angle on the one on the side.
He could have hit that easy and gotten a spot he could stun over. He hit that. He hit that too hard.
I think he's okay, but I'd be hitting this a wee bit firm to make sure the 8 ball doesn't nail to the rail.
Well, I think he needs to shoot the one on the side right now and just draw it back a touch. That's what I'd be doing. I don't like this. I'd shoot the one in the side right now because it's easy to get on that ball. See, the problem with this is now he's got to draw the ball, and that was a poor choice. He should. Again, it's like guys get these balls close together and they're not confident they can make the ball, and so they shoot the one they know they can make. But now you've got this, and now you're looking at it going, "Oh shit, you know this isn't an easy shot." Mm-hmm. I'd probably shoot this in the corner.
Yeah, he's just running for cover. Stubbs going to have a bang at this.
I think at that situation, that wasn't a terrible choice, but he should have won the game outright instead of letting Stubb have a whack at it.
There's no way he shouldn't have got that run out. That run out was easy. Let's be honest, it was easy.
Well, he made a mistake getting funny on the ball by the 8 ball. He should have hit that easier or hit it with a little bit of left English so he could hold it, so he could have a little angle coming back so he could stun over and shoot that red in the corner. And when he did get funny, he should have shot the ball on the side.
Yeah, well, all he wants to do is nurse this to the corner, and he's got it in anyway. But that way he would have had it blocked for Stubbs, so he's got the best of both worlds there by actually potting it. And suddenly he's 7-4 in front.
Well, in spite of making a lot of mistakes, he's got himself a 2-game lead, and he's breaking, and you know, Stubbs sort of melting down at this point.
Good afternoon to Brainfill out. Break goes back to Snake Eyes, rack number 11. Something's dropped in on the side. And again, these balls are sitting pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very nice table. Now, the question is which ones to take.
Well,
I think you almost have to take the reds.
Yep. And you know what I'd be doing, Steve? This one over the corner, that one into the side, get rid of it. But the other problem is that red there.
Yeah, I wouldn't shoot the one in the corner first. I'd probably shoot the one up, the 2 balls up towards the corner. I'd shoot the one against the long rail and then shoot this thin cut in the side pocket. That's the ball right there. The one he's going to point at. Hang on. The one he's looking at now. That's the one to shoot. And now hit this thin cut into the side. Get these balls out of there. He's got one trouble ball, which is the one that the yellow blocks. So, but I would shoot this one in the side while he's got it. He's looking at this red down into the corner, which I wouldn't shoot this unless he's sure. I think he was looking at going behind that one trouble red and shooting it up table. Yep, that's what he's looking at. And that's not a bad thing to do. Now, the reason why he got a little funny on this is because of the light cue ball again. It didn't go forward as much as he expected it to, because he was trying to get more straight in on this shot. And You know, it's over and over and over again. You see the same cue ball mistakes by guys not used to the light cue ball.
Now,
I think he'll still make it.
I don't think he wants to chicken out in this, so he wants to get the cue ball rolling forward.
Yep, good shot.
No,
well, I mean, I think it was a good decision to shoot that because he had a chance to get on the trouble ball. I mean, this one in front of the side pocket isn't that bad. He's got 2 balls up there he can use to get to. The problem is he's a little funny now. I mean, he's going to have to really slow roll this if he wants to shoot that ball next.
I don't think it would do any harm if he just nudged this over the pocket and it didn't go in, but he's fine. Now he's funny again.
Well, I mean, that was just a tough ask to make that ball and hold it up enough where you were going to be good on this. It might have been better to make that and play shape for the ball hung in a corner and come back up table because you had this one other red, which, you know, you could use to get on that side pocket. And that side pocket ball is not a bad last shot where the 8 ball's sitting.
No,
you know, I think, the way he came out there, he tried to shoot a shot that was, you know, that's that hoping. I'm hoping it stops in time. You know, I'm hoping I hit this easy enough. And that was really hard to hold that ball up.
Now the thing is, he didn't want to play over that object ball that he was against to cut this red into the corner. Why? And if he risked it, he could have cut it with good pace, run the cue ball up and down the table to get back up the top end to cut that dodgy red into the side. Instead, he went for the dodgy red into the side, which at that angle from where he was shooting was really, really tough. So Stubbs going to have a bang here.
That's a good shot. I'll tell you one reason it's so aggravating for me to watch something like that is that, you know, I did that for a long time in real life where I was playing hope shots, you know, instead of, I know this is too tough. I know I shouldn't shoot this. And I go ahead and I would shoot it. And that's just a rough thing to get over. I mean, if Snake Eyes does get over that, he's going to be a lot better player because, you know, he's got a really good game. He knows where the balls are going pretty well. So, you know, he should have known not to shoot that shot.
Yeah, I think he should have risked the cut with a bit of pace and let the cue ball run up and down. It was an ugly shot, but I think it was a better one to still give him a chance of getting the one in the side easier. But it's got Stubb back within 1 and on his break and a ball. Well, a couple of balls.
Yeah, and the problem with those kind of decisions is now instead of it being 7-4, you know, now it's 6-5. It's a 2-game swing. And I truly believe a better choice there. It wasn't going to be a guaranteed win, but it was going to be a pretty high percentage.
Well, Stubbs going to cut this one up table right now that he's on it, I think.
Well, Stubbs going to move his yellow or his red.
Yeah, he's going to. I thought he was going to. Oh, he's dropping into the side.
That's a heck of a shot there. Those side pockets aren't easy. But, you know, see how confident he shot that? That's like, you know, he shoots it like, oh, no problem. And a lot of guys would be scared of that shot. He just rolled it right in. Now, this is critical. You get the right angle on this. I would just roll this. You're going to end up with a little angle. He doesn't believe that because he doesn't understand a light cue ball. You just want a little angle so you can go forward and get behind that 8 ball. He's going to try to stun this and probably leave too much angle. Oh, he did roll it. He went the other way. See, I would have hit it easier and left a little angle so I could hit red end rail and go forward. I think that's a pretty good decision to hit it that way and guarantee yourself a shot on the 8 ball. It's not the shot you want, but it is a shot. And if he misses it, it's going to hang in the pocket.
Oh, he's not got it. He's not got it.
Yeah.
Only problem now is I don't think there's much Snake Eyes can do to stop Stubb getting a shot, unless he just comes down here, doesn't pot the corner ball, and lock Stubb or uses those
Well,
2 yellows to cover the 8 ball.
but I think he can get out here. I mean, he's only got 1 ball in trouble.
Right.
You know, he can shoot this shot right now, stun this yellow in, and get that other one out of there.
He's missed it.
Didn't I say stun? Look how high he hits this on the tip. He's way up on the cue ball, and that, even with the light cue ball, it didn't go over.
No prizes for what's well. He's still running balls. I don't know why he didn't just lock Stubb up there, force him to kick the 8 ball.
If you can do a lockup and not give him a kick, that was the thing to do. Well, now you know he's the biggest problem he's got now is his own yellow blocks that's going down in the corner. You know, he could have played shape and got behind it that time, but it wouldn't have done him any good because this yellow that he's right next to is blocking the shot.
And the other thing is there's a gap between that yellow and the rail, and if he didn't get a good lockup, Stubb could still get the cue ball down the rail.
He just made a mistake there. He wanted to leave more angle on this. It was an easy 3-rail position. He's still got the 3-rail position. He's not going to shoot it. He's going to try to go straight down. Getting on that yellow is way easier with 3-rail position.
Now what's he trying? He's trying to cross bank this.
God, I would have tried to get behind it for sure. All he had to do was leave more angle and then just play like 3-rail position behind it.
You know, he's still got a bit too shallow an angle to cross bank this, I think, and then avoid the double kiss as well.
No, you can avoid the double kiss. You got to hit it with right English and open it up off the end rail.
Well, I don't know.
Or you could just do that.
Well, I think Snake Eyes has just lost the plot there. Well, I don't think he was.
When he did have the chance to move that yellow with an easy shot, he had poor execution, and then he made a bad decision not trying to play behind the yellow for position there. I mean, having that as a last ball wasn't that bad because he could have played a 3-rail shot behind it.
Well, the only assumption is he assumed that he was trying to hope that his yellow ball was going to follow the 8 in.
Yeah, even get a little more straight on. You know, you could have played. You still could have got behind it.
Well, again, you know, thinking 4 or 5 shots back, the first thing I'd have been doing is nailing that cue ball to the rail and locking it up behind a couple of yellows that was there, and forcing Stubb to at least kick. He just kept potting balls, and in the end, it was just it was the inevitable. I thought he'd at least try to cross bank it rather than hoping it was going to follow the 8 ball in.
Yeah, look at that shot he just missed. That, you know, I mean, now he seems to be, he had Stubb rattled, and now I think he's rattled, and I think he did it to himself. I mean, Snake Eyes could be really good at this game. I mean, he's got all the components to it. He just needs to learn to play this game better because he's obviously got the skills to be a very strong pub 8-ball player.
Well, the angle that Stubbs got in this red is too straight. He would have much rather been the cue ball nearer this long rail on the left side.
He's fine. He just shoots this one back up table. Just like that.
Yeah, but I think he would have much rather been able to shoot that one back up table and bring the cue ball out for the other yellow. Now he's running the cue ball.
But see, this is the one thing about Stubb. This is the one thing Stubb does better than anybody else in VP, is letting the cue ball run multiple rails. Now, I'm not talking about the uncontrolled ones. I'm talking about shots like that, you know, where it's under control. He planned for it. He played for it. You know, that's not a hard shot, you know, and he understood that and didn't kind of freak out about it.
Well, it's 3 in a row now for Stubb. Into the lead, and a yellow has gone. The yellows have got a problem. and the reds have a problem. So again, it's one of these racks where, regardless what you choose, you've got stuff to do.
Well, it's one of these racks where Stubb will probably do something dumb eventually, and Snake Eyes is going to have his chance. Yes, right off the bat he did something dumb.
Yeah, but he's now committed to the reds.
Yeah, well, I mean, this table's still a mess, but it is doable.
Yeah, it's still a mess, but they all go. You know, the one, yeah, provided he picks them off in the right order, these are all going to go.
Yeah, I'd probably shoot the one that's near the corner and then get the one off the rail right now.
The one in the
that's
short
what
rail.
I'd be doing. Yeah, I'd be shooting the one near the corner pocket and then shooting the one on the short rail, the one on the right side. Or you could just miss. He could lose from here, but it's going to be a tough out for Snake Eyes.
Well, he's got to feather. He's going the other way.
I would have shot the one on the long rail because the cue ball goes straight over to get the other one.
Exactly. Why didn't he just feather that one down the rail? Cue ball comes back into the table there, and now he's got. He's going to really struggle.
He might be better off just playing for position here and letting Stubb have a whack at him.
Oh, now he's going to try it. Now he's trying it.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst that can happen here is he's not hitting it. He's not hitting it. I mean,
I'm not sure what he's planning on doing. Well, right now it looks like he's planning on losing.
Well, I can't work out why he's not hit that to get the cue ball to at least run into the red and the 8 ball.
Yeah. He didn't do it the time before, and he didn't do it that time either.
And now he's sitting scratching his head saying, what do I do about this yellow that I'm looking at?
Yeah, well, it's...
Again, he's relying on the fact that the 8 ball's stuck against the red.
That's just a case of poor planning. Now, if he was Stubb, he'd blast this. I mean, that's a relatively ineffective play. I mean, he didn't leave an easy shot, but, Stubb can just play table position. Oh, well.
Well, he's just
do that? Why do that when I can lose the game on one shot? Why play smart when I can lose the game in just one shot?
No, he hasn't. He actually potted one of his balls as well.
Oh, he did.
And he potted Snake Eyes ball. I've just realised before I did the fail.
So he got lucky. Is what happened.
Yes, he got lucky. I never wrote, and then I saw the second ball going, and that was it. Yeah, he got lucky.
And he's sitting there thinking to himself, "That was a great shot," and the rest of us are thinking, "What an idiot."
Yeah, he's gonna have to take the little thin one first.
I think this one going down the rail goes in. You got to hit it easy, but I think if he rolls the one near the long rail, it will go in. I think he doesn't like that shot. He's going for the other, but it looks like it'll go.
Well, look at the pace in this.
Well, he's lucky he didn't scratch off that 8 ball there. I mean, that was close to being a scratch. He hits that 8 ball, and it's right in the corner. Well, I mean, this is pretty simple. I mean, it's just back and forth. Well, he's underhit it. He's still okay. I would bring the cue ball right back to where that red is right now, probably. If you don't like rolling it. The problem with rolling is it can hang up. It almost did. But he got away with it.
Well, it's 4 in a row now for Stubb.
Yeah, I mean, this has really gone south for Snake Eyes. But, I mean, Stubb doesn't make his own ball that time and only makes Snake Eyes. And, there's a good chance he loses that game.
I am so mean to Stubb.
Well, that might be a solo opinion there that nobody else shares.
Well, anyway, Snake Eyes has broke off, got a red. There's one problem red in the bottom rail.
Yeah, I mean, they're both good. I'd probably favor the reds just because of where the 8-ball is, but I mean, the yellows work. I mean, the critical thing here is have a plan. I'd be looking at this going, okay, if I take yellows, I'm going to go dink, 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 and real quickly run out the table in my head. And I do the same thing for the reds, is figure out what order I'm going to play the balls in. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to end up being that exact order because maybe you make some mistakes, but knowing that you need to know that you can run the balls.
Well, I don't like the line off this one if he's trying to come down onto the other one, because that's why it's ended up there. Because I didn't like the line, and
he just overhit it. I don't think there's anything wrong with the shot, but he just didn't hit it right.
Now, the way the cue ball was sitting, I think he had to be committed either way. He could have played the cut in this red into the corner, or he could have played that cut in the yellow, because that's a problem yellow to get that one to start.
He's looking like he's going to roll up on this. Yeah. Well, I don't know how productive that is. Stubb has his choice of a lot of balls to shoot at. I mean, if I'm Stubb, I'm thinking I can win from here. He's got one yellow that he has to figure out how to get to, and the rest of them are in the open. And he could actually play for it right there. He didn't, but I think he will pretty soon.
He's a bit straight on this one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a little bit funny.
Yeah, he's a wrong angle just to come back down for.
Well, the shot is roll forward on this and leave yourself an angle on the next one into the corner and come up and get it. Now, that's not the shot. See, all he had to do was roll forward and leave an angle back on this ball in the corner, and he could have come right across the table and got to the trouble ball. Instead, he's put position where he has to draw it, and that's just not what you want to be doing.
That's where he's been caught out with the pace on the draw shot there.
Well, it's just simple pattern play. All he had to do is make that ball and roll forward and have an angle on the one in the corner, and then it's just it's long rail to long rail shot. It's a simple shot, everyday shot and pull that anybody that can play is going to get on that ball almost every single time. I just don't get that.
It looks as if he's trying to stun this in down the bottom left and come inside the red to hold for that yellow up top, like that. That was a shot to get rid of that one, but it was not easy.
Yeah. See, if I'm in the pool room and I'm seeing a guy do this, has a big stroke, makes a lot of balls, does a lot of good things, but I watch him make those decisions, that's a guy I'm going to ask to play right away because I know I'm going to win. Because the only way I can lose is playing poorly because he's not going to make good decisions. He's going to leave himself in positions where he has to perform and he has to make a lot of tough shots or difficult places to move the cue ball because he's doing stuff the wrong way. Well, Stubb just he just doesn't understand how to play these games because he's played so much 9-ball. He doesn't understand the pattern play.
Why is Snake Eyes not just dinking the red and dropping to the rail near his other red over the side pocket and tying Stubb up?
I don't know. He's thinking run out, which he still can do. This is a little tricky. I think he's got the cut on this ball on the side. Yeah, he can cut this ball on the side. He's going to run into the other one. He can't hit this too hard.
Oh, dear.
He hit it too hard.
Yeah.
And that's why he couldn't hit it too hard because that's what was going to happen. I mean, he needed to see that the line that ball was coming off, he wasn't going to be able to keep it from coming towards the end rail. All he had to do was hit that easier. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at it saying, uh-oh, because I can see, what's going to happen if he hits it too hard, and he should be able to see that too.
I don't know what he's trying here or what he's thinking, but...
IQ2 is here. Hey, IQ. Well, I mean, I'm not sure what you do here, to be honest with you. I mean, I'd probably roll up on this red. It's not frozen. I think I'd roll up on the red.
Yeah, just roll right up onto it, yeah. That's the only thing he's got. I mean, he's... Yeah,
he hit that way too hard.
Yeah, he's got stubbed a nice angle and he's yellow up table. He should be out here.
Now, this is the kind of angle I was talking about before you want. Now, the only thing about this shot is that, he's got traffic down there, so he has to be a little careful. And see, he played it the wrong way because he played just speed. I would have held that ball and tried to stop above the 8 ball. He's going to have to masse this ball a little. You don't want to play a line where if you get the speed wrong, that's... All he had to do was come to the rail above the 8 ball. Or at least run it on that line if you are going to play speed.
Simon says, can Stubb win this tournament?
Here you just roll up on it. I don't think Stubb can win it. Not unless he learns how to play better 8 ball.
Yeah.
And roll up on this. Now this is a delicate shot. You just roll up and bump it very lightly. Now I have trouble with this kind of shot in VP, but I see guys that do the shot really well. What's he doing?
Yeah, just
he's moving the tip down on the cue ball. You just roll up on this red.
He's trying to bump the yellow out of the way. This is suicidal.
No, he's there. He goes.
He hasn't got a rail. He's got the rail first and then hit the red.
Yeah, he hadn't hit the red first. And that could have possibly been because he went low on the cue ball trying to control the speed, and it might have turned the cue ball a little. If you're gonna go low like that, you got to make sure you're right in the center of the ball, or the cue ball is going to turn. I don't think playing it that way is a bad way to play it if that's how you can control the speed. But obviously, what ended up happening didn't work out.
Yeah. Well, he's not. He can't trust his control and the touch on this cue ball. You just play
If Stubb wins this black ball tournament, that's going to be as big a upset as Kazakis beating Shane in the finals of the World Masters.
Yeah,
any of you guys see that? Kazakis beat Shane 9-0. Who would have thunk?
Yeah.
Kazakis isn't anywhere close to Shane as a player. But, it's like if they played that snooker world championship and the finals was a race to 3. A race to 3 in snooker is about like a race to 9 and 9 ball. I mean, it's just they're making it so that if the best player makes a couple mistakes and the guy that doesn't play as good, has some luck and some rolls and he plays well. And that's what ended up happening. And Kazakis wins 9-0. I've played Kazakis before, and he's a good player. He's real solid, but he's no Shane Van Boning. I mean, not even close to him. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. All right. Well, I mean, I thought Snake Eyes was looking real good in this match, and now he's in trouble. He needs to win this game.
He was looking good at 6-4 up. But see, getting back to the point about, can Stubb win this? The simple answer to that is not if you look at the opportunities that have been available here, where the better players that are left in this tournament will deal with those situations much better than what Snake Eyes has done. And in that case, then Stubb would never be getting back in front from 6-4 down.
The way Stubb plays, if he has some things go his way, he's good enough to be a spoiler and give one of the good players a loss. But for him to beat like multiple of those guys, I just can't see it happening because, his decision making, his pattern play, his pinch it for doing the blast and hope shots. You know, those things are going to cost him against those good players. But, you know, any given match he could win. He could beat one of those guys.
Yeah, I think he needs a lot of things to go his way though in order for that to happen. Not only just beating somebody like Albie or Cobra or that once, but to do it twice in the tournament.
What? Boy, semi-pro, I don't think I'd ever say something like that. I don't know. If it was a woman's edible panties, maybe, but not Stubbs. Oh my God. That's a...
Well, Stubbs hung the yellow. I mean, now the situation is, with that yellow over the corner, Stubb can drop it in and pot the yellow into the side, because that's now wide open.
Well, I mean, he needs to get to it quick, and he tried to, and he didn't, and he missed the ball too. So, and that's... I mean, it was a good shot. But the execution wasn't there.
Well, here's Stubb doing what I said he's going to do anyway. He's just going to drop the yellow into the side, needs the angle.
That's smart, because, you know, you're guaranteeing yourself a shot. And that's what you need to do.
And suddenly Stubbs on the hill.
Yeah, well, this is a match Snake Eyes definitely could have won. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He was in a position to win it, and he had Stubb rattled, and he went goofy.
He's now lost 6 in a row.
Trust me, I've gone goofy. I've lost some big matches going goofy. I had Alex Pagulayan down, and I went goofy on him and ended up losing the match. Probably because I was playing Alex Pagulayan.
I would have loved to see the pre-match photograph of that, Steve. You standing next to Alex Pagulayan and him up to your waist.
I've got a photograph of it. I've got a photograph of me and him. And my cue is 69 inches. My cue is taller than him. I'll have to dig that up. I do have a photo of that.
Oh dear. You must be about what, more than 3 feet taller than him.
Oh, he's like maybe 5'1" with his hair. It's sticking straight up. He's built like a little girl. I'm not kidding you. He's just a very dainty man, and one of the greatest all-time pool players. I mean, tremendous player. I mean, there's been very few guys I've ever looked at, you know, the first time and were wowed by their talent, and he was one of them. Just tremendous talent.
There might be some people watching this who haven't seen Alex Pagulayan, so I mean, he's like probably in
well, if he's not in the Hall of Fame yet, he will be. I mean, he's a lock for that.
Yeah, he's about 8 stone wet through, if you're going by imperial weights and measures. That's him, 8 stone wet through if he is. And
what's a stone? How many pounds is a stone?
Well, I mean, 14 pounds in a stone. 14 pounds in a stone. So then you multiply that by whatever to get your numbers.
Yeah, that's probably pretty close. If I had to guess his weight, I'd say 120 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty lightweight.
Yeah, and he's probably one of these guys who's that size, that build, and he eats like a horse.
Yeah.
You know, he's
I
one of these.
never ate with him, but he's, you know, he's got a great personality, and he's a fantastic player, and you know, he is one of my favorite players. He's just watching him play is just a great experience. You know, he's like, you know, there's guys that play snooker like that. Ronnie's like that. Watching Ronnie play is a joy.
Well, it's all over, folks. Spoke too soon. Spoke too soon.
Oh my gosh. God.
Now,
That was crazy.
what the hell happened there?
It didn't scratch.
No,
It
what?
looked like it was going to scratch, but it didn't.
It didn't.
No, it didn't.
I thought it went
It hit
in.
off the. No, it hit off the knuckle. It didn't scratch.
Oh, I was too busy hitting my fail button and I missed it.
Boy, that was entertaining last shot.
That was a fail. Anyway, well, that's it. Snake Eyes sort of went to sleep 6-4 up, and Stubbs won 7 in a row, and I don't know how that happened. Well, the bad news for Stubb is that he's going to have to step up again because he's playing Tommy next, who again, as I say, I was
Tommy's
very
played
impressed
good.
with. Well, Tommy played well in his last match, so. But
I would expect that to be a good match between him and Tommy.
But strange how Snake Eyes sort of I don't know whether he lost interest, but he certainly.
I just want to ask: are any of you guys going to be rooting for Stubb when he plays Tommy? I mean, Tommy is such a nice guy. I'm just wondering if anybody's going to be in Stubbs' corner.
Oh yeah, they're Slim's here.
Slim, are you going to root for Stubb in the next match? It's okay. You can admit it if you want to.
Right now, how did that affect the
We're not
stats?
going to beat you up too much for him. I mean, believe it or not, I like Stubb, but
oh, smash, run.
He certainly doesn't have a lot of fans.
Well, I don't think Stubb affected his stats a great deal. Rax ran. You've got Tommy out in front. Stubbs down there in 7. What about? That's the one I want to find. Runouts from the break. Tommy's in front. Stubbs still down there on 4. Nothing's changed. Obviously, Snake Eyes. Well, that's him now gone. He's on 9 runouts from the break. Break fills. Snake Eyes had a couple in that, did he not? Popman's in the lead. Oh, Snake Eyes isn't it. He's not even on the list. I don't see him.
Well, what's going on here? Semi-Pro and Mark Shark.
I
think I saw some sort of proposal went out on that.
Yeah, well, Mark Shark is in the States, so the difference there's the time zone difference in that one.
They've got quite a few days to work that out.
Yeah, the deadline's this is what, the 2nd or the 3rd?
All right, as long as we're looking at that, let's go look and see who's been sending proposals. Okay.
There won't be many because the main match on the winner's side already proposed and set. The only other one.
Semi sent one on May 2nd. Yeah. Semi sent one on May 1st. And Mark Shark hasn't responded. So right off the bat, that puts Mark Shark behind the 8 ball. I can't emphasize enough, guys, that you need to start this and respond like right away, because when it comes down to the end and there's problems, guess what? Semi-Pro is going to get the nod because he was talking and Mark Shark was not.
Yeah, well,
you guys need to get to those matches, and because then when you come down to the end and complain and go, well, we couldn't agree this and that. Well, why'd you wait 4 days to respond?
I think
that's going to be my question.
If Semi-Pro plays his cards right, he might not have a game until the last game in the one-loss side, because Tornado Tam quickly forfeited when he was set to face Semi-Pro. So Semi-Pro's sitting there with 2 proposals, no reply. So he's going to go through at the next round.
You guys got to get up and play. I mean, I'll tell you this. It's different playing somebody than it is watching somebody. I'm not saying don't watch people, because I do it all the time. But I've probably learned more playing people. For some reason, you notice things that you wouldn't when you're not watching, or things strike you different when you're actually in the match. You need to play the good players.
I wonder if Stubb thinks he played well today. He didn't say much after the match, did he?
Oh, of course he does. So I've got a friend in real life just like this. Oh, I'm hitting him real well. And the thing is like, yeah, you're hitting him well, but, you know, you lost 4 games you should have won because of doing stupid things. And, you know, the thing is he just looks at, oh, I won or I lost, and Stubbs the same way. And here's what the problem with that is. Those guys are the easiest guys there are to hustle, because all you have to do is lose to them, and they think they're better than you. Then you raise the bet and you take all their money. I mean, that is the greatest way to be a sucker, is think that you played good because you won.
Don't let Stubb get used to the toy table.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Well, you know, getting used to it may help him with the cue ball some, but should have got out more. Yeah, you should have made better decisions on your pattern play and not tried to blast and get lucky. And those are the things that are going to come back and bite them.
Yeah.
I mean, good enough to beat some guys, but not good enough to win this tournament. That's my prognosis. We'll see. You know, I mean, if he proves me wrong, great, more power to him.
Well, if he can come through against Tommy, then it'll be a good result for Stubb. That's what I'm saying, because I think Tommy's the favourite in that match, because Tommy's got a much better touch than Snake Eyes has got, or Snake Eyes showed today.
Yeah, well, I thought Snake Eyes was playing good enough to win. I think he just got a little rattled there at one point. I mean, I definitely think he was playing well enough to win.
I still don't understand why he played that last ball he has onto the 8-ball. I can't work that out. I can't work out why he didn't lock Stubb up in the first place during that rack when he had an easy lock-up and refused it. Some players are so totally focused on trying to pop balls to get out when it's never going to be easy, especially his last yellow up the table block with the 8-ball. I couldn't work that out.
Yeah, there's some happy medium. On the other end of it, we saw that match between Mark Shark and Popman, where all they did was trying to push balls over into the point where, you know, they caused themselves to lose by doing it too much.
Yeah, and we were nearly 3 hours at it watching it. So it was.
Yeah, there's some happy medium in all this.
Right, guys. The next big one is at the weekend. We'll just have a look at the bracket. We'll find that there is only one match scheduled now, and that is the match between Albiot and Larry, and that is at 8 p.m. on Saturday night. That will be 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific time. So
and I can't do that one.
So if you can't be there, it will be on YouTube, because I'll be there. I'll make sure I'll be there for that one. So I hope you can all join us then. And Steve will need to watch it in the replay. So until we meet again, folks, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us, Steve. Take care.
Thank you, Hugh.
And
thanks, guys.
I'm off for dinner, so we will see you later, folks. Good afternoon.
don't make mistakes here. We just have happy accidents.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.